So Capcom has a fairly sordid / rough history with multiplayer Resident Evils.
Yes, it does.
They're trying again with Project Resistance. What is it? Should we be excited about it? Should we actually pay attention to this one? We played it, right?
Yeah, we did. It's a new Resident Evil multiplayer game. It's a 4v1 kind of deal, like a symmetrical multiplayer.
I think the probably thing to they wanted to get across most is it's very not early. Like it seems like they've developed a bit of it, but the idea is being iterated on quite significantly still. They were like, hey, we've been working on this for a while, we're experimenting with it, we want to kind of get it out there, which is weird because usually you wouldn't see that, but in an age where, you know, early access is a thing, they're a little more empowered to do that. So what we played was rough, but had the fundamentals of what we want, or what they want to kind of get out there. And I don't know about you, but it kind of felt Left 4 Dead-ish to me.
Well, yeah, totally. I understand why you'd feel that way because, I mean, the whole deal is like, you know, so it's 4v1 and the four players are just like survivors, right? Each kind of like Left 4 Dead have their own sort of unique skills, I suppose. And the other side is like basically what they call a mastermind. It's just like this dude who's like, it's like Umbrella, like, it's like this secret Umbrella like employee. And the whole premise is that he's trapped these 4 survivors in an Umbrella facility. And yeah, so it's like the mastermind's job to try to thwart them from escaping. Yeah,
so they were very cagey about the kind of what the mastermind is. So I think they're trying to build a bit of mystique around it. And on the kind of loading screen, they had your picture of the mastermind. He was like this French guy who looked vaguely like Wesker with circular black glasses and slick back hair.
I was thinking like the Salt Bay guy. Actually.
Yeah, he does kind of look like Salt Bay. But like that kind of makes you think, oh, if they've got a picture of the mastermind there, that means there's probably other masterminds available. And so like the basics of it are, like you said, asymmetrical, four characters, 4 survivors from different backgrounds. You get like a jock, a hacker type, a biker girl, and each of them has this kind of like a special skill and then a fever skill, which is like an ultimate. Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would go fever or something, but it's just like, no, you're sick with zombie virus. And like each of them has like, everything's on a cooldown, and you're just going through this environment that is like a testing facility, which seems to be like an office type thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's the map that we played kind of had that vibe to it, but like it's like sort of the large like area that you're trying to escape from is like divided into 3 areas, right? And each area has like a unique objective that you have to accomplish, at least a set objective, I think.
And it starts off quite simple. It's like just get to this point in phase 1, and then once you've got all your characters to that point, it advances you to the next phase where it's like, oh, you need to find 3 keys and use them on these terminals. And then you have to work together or split apart to do kind of like that element of it. And then you go into the final phase where it's like, oh, you need to destroy these canisters of T-virus or whatever it may be, and whatever virus biohazard that Umbrella has been making, you need to destroy those canisters and then get to it. So along the way, you find like zombies are knocking about. It feels like they're going for like the hero type thing, the hero archetypes. Like you get one which has got like her AoE for healing. You get another one who's basically got the Dudley's Rolling Thunder attack from Third Strike, where he rushes them and you keep hitting punch.
Just punch forever.
Yeah, he just keeps punching, but he's got like another overhead punch, which if you're being grabbed by a zombie, if you land that, it breaks you away from him. And then you got cameras everywhere, so one of the hacker archetype can like hack the camera, but like the mastermind part of it seems to be the unique part of it, right?
It's probably the most entertaining part, to be honest.
And that's where you excel.
Yeah, I don't want to pipe myself up that much, but yeah, so that's a lot of fun because it's interesting because the way it works is that, you know, when you play the perspective of Mastermind, you're looking through cameras, and you're just trying to pinpoint the location of all the survivors, how far they're getting in there. All the while, you have like a deck of cards that you're kind of pulling from, and each one sort of represents like here's like enemies you can put onto the map, and even some are like special abilities, like you can get a card that allows you to like use the camera as a machine, like put a machine gun on the camera and like shoot survivors from
or grenade launcher.
Oh yeah, or grenade launcher. But the most fun sort of power-up that you can use is Mr. X. You can literally spawn him on the map and use him. And
he's on like a timer basically.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't really kill him. Each card is, like you said, an enemy, but like you can choose where to place the enemy. So like you could do it like, oh, they're running towards this exit, I'm gonna put Mr. X or a licker there, or I'm gonna put a trap there. And each time you do something, like for example, like traps, if you land it and like they get hit by it, it like removes time that they've got to escape. So there's this kind of like tug of war between time where the survivors who, when they do something that aids their survival or helps each other, it adds time to it. And when you do something that makes it harder for them, successfully traps them or gets one kill downed or something, it removes time for them. So that's a kind of like added layer. But then like characters like Mr. X, when you spawn them, and he literally like just appears in front of everyone, which is one kind of weird. Yeah, it's kind of weird because you know, the part of the fun in Resident Evil 2 was when he just came through a door and you're like, oh, but with this, like everyone knows he's coming because he's like appears. You could like spawn him around the corner and then walk him out.
Yeah,
but
that's a strategy.
But he's like, for me, I was going for like, I want to have the maximum time with him, so I put him right in front of, and there's like buttons to give him, he uses various attacks. He's got like an overhead punch, he's got like a tackle, which grabs them at the end and like kills them, insta-kill.
Yeah.
But then you need to figure out how you kind of use other people's. For example, when Mr. X goes for the insta-kill, you can use the character with the overhead punch or the kick to like save that person.
As Mr. X, you target that dude.
Yeah,
like,
that's what you did to me.
That's what I did
so
like
I was playing the kick guy, who's basically got a push kick, which is too powerful right now. It could break, like if a zombie grabs you, you can use the kick to break free. You can also like just wait for a zombie to spawn, and when they stand up, just kick them out of the way. And if you're Mr. X, you can use them to kick. So I was doing that a lot, and then you were playing the mastermind, and you realized that I was doing that. So the moment you spawned him, you just came after me and got me.
It's you I want.
But like, it's interesting because there is like a back and forth between the mastermind and the survivors as well. Specifically that one character, I think her name's Valerie, the biker girl or the hacker girl.
Oh, the hacker, yeah.
So her like fever skill was to increase the cost of the mastermind's cards.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, yeah, because the whole thing is like, you know, we're talking a lot about putting enemies onto the map, but the whole thing is you're very limited because you have a sort of an energy bar. So each card you use consumes a certain amount of energy.
And it replenishes, but it means that like within a, let's say, turn, you've got a certain amount. You can't just do like Mr. X liquor grenades, like you've got a certain amount that you need to think about. And you also need to think about how you want to space out using it. So you've got time for it to recover. And also you might not want to put all the cards out right at the start, because then when they get to the end, you'll have nothing good to kind of slow them down. And there's like a bunch of different other things that you can do as the mastermind to make it a little more interesting. Like you can hop between cameras. You always have the map to see where everyone is. So you could be like, oh, this person seems to have like split from the pack. I'm gonna try and separate them and like focus on them. And you can do things like turn the lights off. So like if you place traps on the floor and they turn the lights off, they'll have trouble kind of figuring out where to go.
Can I just say, like, because of that stuff, that's what makes like Mastermind so freaking fulfilling, because you just feel like this evil genius. Like
there were times when like I'd turn the lights off but not do anything else. So like when the lights came on, they'd be like, okay, is there traps around? So the pace of the natural players would naturally slow down. So they're looking for traps because I've turned the lights off. But actually what I've done is just slowed them down long enough for me to figure out what cards I want to pick.
Totally, and that's the cool thing, because like all these tools that you have, like it challenges you to think in a way that, like, I think they were saying, like, as like a Resident Evil designer, right? You're kind of plotting enemies, you're using certain like environmental effects to create, like to impact the players in some way.
I think like it seems like the foundation of it feels good. Like the idea is there, but it requires fleshing out. For example, like we played it once and then we replayed it and the map felt immediately like I knew where to go, and you had to complete the objectives. It wasn't mixing up anything, and as long as we stuck together, we were fairly, we were good with like taking out the enemies. You need to do things like collect currency to buy stuff, and use like that's why you want to stockpile flashbangs for when Mr. X appears. You can slow him down, but each of the environments didn't really change.
Yeah, exactly.
We asked about it and they said, oh yeah, you should mix up, the things are going to mix up, like items are going to shuffle about and stuff like that. But it didn't seem like that was the case.
Yeah, even the map design itself too is a little bit claustrophobic, right? There's a lot of times, especially because you're just kind of clumped up together because you don't want to separate. So like, you know, when an enemy will come through and then you're just trying to like kill the one zombie and everyone's like, I can't see.
It was really weird because like, Left 4 Dead maps, for example, they're really smart in that they have enough open areas for you to be separated naturally, but also for whoever's the AI controller in that, the AI director in Left 4 Dead to separate you using enemies. Like it'd know, here's a big point, like we can use the witch here or the bloater here to get rid of you. But because the maps are so claustrophobic, it works in that Resident Evil claustrophobic style environment, but it means that almost everywhere you go is a choke point. Which means like if you're sticking together, you can just focus fire. There's never a way for you to, unless you slow down, and that's how you get separated. Generally, you're sticking together. Maybe it was just a case of like this is a test map, and we want to kind of create an environment where the action is to get closer together. But right now, I felt like I could easily win, or like I could understand exactly what I need to do on a map-to-map basis.
Yeah, totally. I really felt like you only just need like a few tries at it before it starts to become a little like, you get it. Like you're confident in your skills to just get through this, and it almost, I'm sure after a while, even becomes stale.
I feel like there needs to be more of that Resident Evil puzzle element to it. Like, two of you need to be in this room while one of you's in this room to try and kind of like solve, one of the weird pipe dream style puzzles to open a door or something like that. So Capcom is making this with a third-party developer. It's the same developer that worked on the HD remake for Resident Evil 1 and 0, and I believe the Origins collection.
Oh,
so
like
I think, the remaster. So I believe this is their first original project together, and I feel like they've got the foundation of something, but I'm still kind of cautious about it. They've got, like we said at the start, like a weird history with multiplayer Resident Evil. I
had enough fun there for me to kind of be excited for what they might be able to come up with this, and I'm glad that they established this very early, sort of conceptually, because it gives them sort of grounds to develop that, and makes me kind of excited to see like, okay, well then they're very eager to hear about what they can do to make an actual fun Resident Evil multiplayer experience.
And they're going to have a beta, but as far as we know, it's Japan only currently. We were told that there would be information about more open beta, not open beta, but like welcoming people from other territories into the beta, but we'll sit tight on that. My biggest fear is that they launch it as an early access style unfinished thing. There was a time, I know we talked about this on the way out as well, like there was a time where you could do that, but I think, and that PUBG kind of like rode that train, but like these days, I don't think, I'm hoping that Capcom is aware of the fact that early access doesn't mean you can polish, or you can put out something that's really, really early and rough and then work on it. But who knows, we'll see in the future.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, same.
So, well,
Resident Evil, baby.